Chaos and outrage today in downtown L.A. with thousands of people protesting President Trump's threat of mass deportation. The crowds blocked the freeways, the city streets. They caused huge traffic delays, and they prompted the LAPD to issue a citywide tactical alert. Carlos Aceto is live for us in downtown L.A. tonight, where things are a little bit calmer. Carlos?
That's right, Rick. It is much calmer, much quieter right now. But as you know, these demonstrations lasted pretty much all day. The protesters here moved in, shutting down the 101 freeway, shutting it down at least a couple of times. Let's watch.
The title of this video is Thousands of Anti-ICE Protesters Block Surface Streets in downtown LA. They back.
I thought LA burnt down.
Nah, it's whatever's left. The migrants stomped it into the ground.
They gonna mash it. It looks like the overpass is now cleared. Yeah. So tell us what you see behind you, how far back that goes, and whether police you think are going to kind of start sweeping to get people out of this general area away from the 101.
So let me show you two things that are important real quick, because I think to show you exactly where we are. Let's go over in this direction here, right? So we have the road that runs along the 101 as well. You see all those orange flashing lights, yellow flashing lights. I know obviously it's a little bit dark out here, but just to give you a sense, that's Aliso Street, right? We were there at 6 o'clock. People were blocking the intersection there, and we saw this huge swarm of LAPD kind of come up that street to try to dissipate the crowd. And guess what happens? You move the crowd from that location, they end up at another location. And because it's been so packed over here, they were able to essentially block this entire intersection here, and that's where they have been sitting for the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. If we turn back around real quick, you can see police.
Shit peaceful now.
LAPD has gotten good control on trying to block traffic. For the entirety of the afternoon we've been out here, these roads have been open to cars. Now, not to say cars are moving, or cars are moving particularly fast, but many of them were protesters, and you had some other people within the crowd trying to drive through. So people have been walking through, weaving their way through crowds. Now, it seems LAPD has gotten to the point where they have this crowd on this intersection here, and most of the streets in the immediate vicinity kind of shut off. Obviously, with the riot gear and with the officers here, there's a concern that there may be potentially arrest or confrontation. That has not happened. This has been peaceful. Obviously, they got on the 101 several times over the course of this afternoon. But at the moment, this crowd really just started gathering here in the last 15, 20 minutes. You see them having very lively conversations face-to-face with police. It's not escalated to this point, but obviously, this is the particular area we're keeping an eye on. And if you look up the street as well, these protesters go all the way up to the following street as well. So there's still easily hundreds, if not several thousand, still out here.
All right, Tim, we are hearing from CHP that they gave a dispersal order earlier this afternoon. Is that something that you possibly have heard on the ground that people are just ignoring? Or do you think it's possible that these protesters did not know they had been ordered to disperse?
They don't speak English.
Kind of several different kind of bumps throughout the day.
They said it. They said it in Spanish too. Andale,
over the bullhorn.
Get the fuck up out of here. Listen,
Right.
Let me tell you something. I feel like America is about we're about to experience some difficult times.
Yeah, we're on the cusp of something right now.
Of something huge. When you couple this with the tariff situation and what's going to ultimately happen to prices of too many things, the dissatisfaction of Americans as well as apparently immigrants, people who just showed up here that's not getting their dream, is going to be kind of insane, dude. I think we're looking at very, very troubling times.
What do you do in a situation like this? With that many people, they said there could possibly be thousands, not hundreds, thousands.
You mean right here or
right there in LA? I'm not talking about throughout the country.
I'm not understanding how ICE doesn't have the authority to, first of all, just break up the protests. You know how they lock up protesters who are legally protesting or doing things you can't do. And as you lock them up, filter. Are you here legally or not?
Right.
If you're an American and you protesting, okay, well, I guess you do it again.
Yeah, they got facial recognition and all that type of things.
Right. But I feel like if ICE was part of the riot, I don't know what you call squad, the people that
to make them disperse.
Right. If they were part of that, all arrests made would then in turn, I mean, like we said before in the other video, just put a net around the shit, nigga.
Just build a gate.
You look for migrants, they protesting right there in front of your face. Right. Or not. I'm sure a lot of them are American citizens and speaking about their
Right. But if you don't have papers, you on the first thing smoking.
Make sure you got your papers before you get out there protesting and all that other stuff. But I think this is just the beginning, man. How long do people peacefully protest? This is one day.
Until it kick off.
Right.
It don't take a lot. That could be a powder keg.
Yeah,
it don't take a lot for it to kick off.
This is one day. What happens when they start arresting them? Or tell them you can't be out here?
We've seen it in New York. They start bucking. They start fighting back. We've seen it.
That's what happens. It's a trickle until the dam explodes, and I see that coming. I see that
possibly
coupled with, like I said, and then there'll be so much turmoil because with Trump's tariffs. Although Trump with the tariffs, Mexico had theirs overturned just today for at least 30 days, supposedly. I guess I'll just interject the part about that. But they had theirs overturned for 30 days, and the agreement was that Mexico would put 10,000 of their troops on the border to help secure it and prevent people.
What about Canada? Across. They say anything?
Canada's still holding strong. If I'm not mistaken, they have a 25% tariff on
25%, yes.
them. So just when you couple those things along with the natural progression of how inflation was going anyway, it's hard times coming for America.
No doubt.
It's hard times.
You better get ready. Yeah. My question to you is, was Kamala and Biden down there, was they in LA when this whole thing kicked off?
Back home.
Oh, yeah?
Kamala's back to living her nigga-free life.
She not.
No blacks around her.
No, stop,
cooking her
man.
fake-ass collard greens in the bathtub.
Stop.
Come up with that bullshit.
Right, I don't know, man.
But if they'd have came in, it'd have been fine. They'd have been more migrants. They just kept rolling.
Kept rolling them in, baby.
Kept rolling for more years.
She border czar. She truly was a border czar.
Yes. If by czar you mean like security guy that opens the gate. And
just let the flood.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll be keeping our eyes on this and letting you guys know a little bit more about it as it continues to grow.
Crazy.
This is the first night. We'll see if this carries on or if they disperse.
And again, with LA, with all the fires and all that, so this
right.
is
The shit's supposed to damn near burnt.
Yeah, right. They weren't letting people in LA at one point. Right. People can't even get to their homes and none of that. So where are they?
They like, who gonna build it back, man?
Right.
And people argue that not having Mexicans. Well, I don't want to just say Mexicans.
Yeah, don't say Mexicans.
Understand the immigrant problem is much bigger than this Mexicans.
Facts.
I'm not shooting at Mexicans in and of themselves. I'm just talking about illegal people here, unvetted. That's my personal beef. Now, people argue that if they are removed, then that will increase like food prices and things of that nature because they do a lot of farm work that people don't do. But ultimately, construction, things of that nature. But what will happen is things will be right sized. Things will cost more, but they'll have to pay more because Americans aren't going to do those jobs unless you pay them properly.
That is true.
So they have to raise rates to a reasonable
They don't want to do that.
working rate. No, they don't want to do that initially. But as the pain kicks in, what are they going to let their fruit rot on the vines?
Right.
You know
the road's not going to be built.
You're going to have to come up off if you're going to get niggas out there because we don't
Yeah, you got to pay.
You're going to have to make it work for a while.
Yeah,
you know what
no
I'm saying?
doubt.
Where a person may come from somewhere else to work for so much
paying
less.
pennies on the dollar.
Right, which is illegal in and of itself any goddamn way. But I think ultimately it will correct itself, but it will be some pain before that goes down. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Should we let all the migrants in just because we let grapes and avocados and shit? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. How? Wow. Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, where you're standing. What you need is a lover, someone to take over. Oh baby, don't look any further. But Dale, bumper cheek, oh baby, don't look any further.